All right, so I decided to record this video because it has been brought to my attention that SaaS founders simply do not understand how big of an impact even a 1% drop in churn actually makes in their business as a whole. And so not only am I recording this video, we decided to spend a ton of time putting this calculator together. And so essentially what this will allow you to do is it will allow you to look at your stats. If everything stays the same, meaning same churn rate, same new customers per month, paying the same amount with your starting MRR, where you'll be in 12 months, 24 months, 36 months, and then what will happen if you decide to drop your churn maybe from 10% to 9%, right? So obviously you're still going down, but you're going down much slower. So let me actually walk you through a real example. So let's say you are making $100,000 a month. Let's say your SaaS is doing $100,000 a month. Average revenue per user. Let's look at a company that's doing $10 million a year. Okay, so they're doing around $830,000 per month. Average revenue per user. I'm just thinking about a couple go-to-market companies. Their ARPU is typically going to be anywhere between like 150 and 300. So we're going to call it like 250 being nice. So 250. And then new customers per month. So they're probably adding like $1 million. There we go. So 83.3. So they're typically adding like $1 million in MRR at this rate, but their churn is super high. So their churn is going to be probably like 18%. Okay. And so right here, I mean, they're going down. So let's give them, let's say they're staying equal. Let's see, what does that do? Okay. So that's actually them going down. So let's say they're adding another 350. Does that put them kind of equilibrium? Let's see, 400. So let's say they're adding, okay, so that looks pretty good. So let's think of let's do like 120 in new MRR per month. Okay, there we go. So 120 new MRR per month, that's what they're adding. They're sitting at around $10 million and they have a churn rate of like anywhere between 15 and 18%. Okay, so this is what's happening to them right now. They'll probably stabilize at around like $670-ish thousand a month, which obviously is still a lot of money, but there's a lot more money that these companies could be making. So let me just show you, okay? So if you were sitting at these numbers and you brought your churn down from 18 to 17, you reduced by 1 complete point. Let's see what would happen, right? So in 12 months, so month 1, you're the same. Month 2, you already saved $8,000. In the span of 12 months, you end up saving $336,000 by just decreasing churn by 1%. Okay, so you go from 18 to 17. Now, what happens if you go from 18 to 15? Let's look at that. So if we go from 18 to 15%, everything else stays the same. You add an additional $1 million that would essentially go straight to your bottom line. So what does this look like? Month 1, you're sitting at the same. Month 2, or actually like month 1, you're sitting at an extra $25,000 saved from just dropping churn by 3%. At the end of 12 months, you would have been at $804,000 every single month, but you're at $681 because you didn't drop your churn. So the bottom one, so current is if you stayed at the current monthly churn rate. Improved is if you are at the new monthly churn rate, 15%. Now let's say you did something crazy and you went, or that's going to stay the same, and then you dropped your churn to 10%. Okay, which is still a ton, but just look at the number. You're adding an extra $3.3 million in take home by just focusing on dropping churn from 18 to 10%. So again, month 1, you're sitting at an extra $66,000. Month 2, you doubled that. Month 3, 173, then 216, then almost $300,000 by month 6 and 7. And then in 12 months, you're sitting at an extra $400,000 a month, right? Now, if we extend that timeline to 24 months, month 24, we're sitting at an extra $500,000. Month 36, we're sitting at an extra, again, $524,000 and an extra $15 million in revenue in 3 years, okay? Just by dropping churn from 18 to 10%. Now, I know that is a ton of work, but it's work that you have to do to make an extra $15 million. So when you set the like when there's actually a pot of gold at the end, it just makes everything way easier. Plus, obviously, Flywheel can help with this. And this in 3 years really is not a crazy thing to think about. Like dropping churn from 18 to 10%, very much doable. Now, let's go with another example. Let's say we are sitting at, let's do 50K, okay? So let's say we are sitting at $50,000 in revenue, ARPU, average revenue per user on a monthly basis. Let's say it's 150. And let's say these guys are adding, at this stage, you're probably adding like 10K in new MRR every month. And again, if you are in the go-to-market world, your churn is probably going to be higher than this. It'll probably be like 20%. And then let's turn this all the way down. So right now, essentially, you're just staying the same, right? So you are adding a bunch of users. You're adding 66 new users, but your churn rate's 20%. And so you're pretty much staying the same, right? So, and this is pretty common at this stage with companies in the go-to-market space. Let's say you go from $50,000 or you're doing 50K MRR. Let's say you drop your churn from 20 to 19, right? What happens there in a span of 12 months? So in 12 months, you are saving $2.5 thousand. Now let's say you drop it by 5% or to 15%. What happens now? Oh, okay. Now we're seeing an extra $118,000 a year that you're saving. Okay. So this is what I mean. And dropping like from 20 to 5 again in a year is not a crazy thing. Just imagine how much harder it would be to land $118,000 in revenue in a year, right? If you're sitting at these numbers, it's not an easy thing to do. And this again goes straight to your bottom line, goes straight into your pocket. Okay. Now let's give another example. Let's say we're doing $120,000 a month, or let's say we're doing 1.2 mil, right? Everyone wants to get 100. That's kind of, or after 83, that's kind of where everyone wants to be. If you're seeing at 100, 150 ARPU, again, makes sense. Maybe we can call this 200. New customers per month at this stage, yeah, probably maybe like $20,000 in new MRR. And churn rate is probably going to be the same. Let's call it 15% churn. So let's say, so this was at 0, right? So now you're going up, right? So you're making a lot more money. So you're actually going up even though you have 15% churn. Now imagine what would happen. So let's just look at it. You don't even have to imagine. We go to a 14%. What happens? Okay. So in 12 months, we're making an extra $7,000. Not huge, right? Let's say we drop it by 2%. What happens now? It goes to $15,000, right? A month. So that means an extra $115,000 straight into your bank account at 13%. Let's say you drop it by 7%. So you go from 15 to 8. What would happen now? Just look at that difference. Okay, an extra $66,000 in MRR that you're saving, almost $500,000 in just straight profit that you're putting in your pocket. Okay, and so this is how much money you're saving per month if you get your churn from 15 to 7 and everything else stays the same, starting at $100,000. Okay, so if now you can see the effect of improving churn even by 1%. Okay, because even if we do, like if these are your stats and you're sitting at 15 and you go to 14, month 1 you're saving $1,000, month 2 you're saving 2K, month 3 you're saving almost 3, then 3.5, then 4, etc., until you're saving 7K by just decreased 7K a month. Like imagine you can hire some pretty good people for 7K a month, like by just 1%. If you do 2%, what can you do with a $15,000 a month hire, right? Like that's some pretty high level, like that's some good talent right there, especially if you're sitting at $1.2 million a year. If you span that out to 36 months, you're saving $20,000 every single month at the end. Okay. So I just want to show this so that you can see the actual effect on on your business, the actual churn effect on your business, and how just decreasing it by very, very small amounts can lead to huge gains. And so that's why we are now focusing solely on helping people reduce churn with Flywheel. And so if you need help with that, feel free to hit the second link down below the description. We'll get you set up so that you can decrease churn on a pay on results basis. You essentially don't pay until you see that we've decreased churn. And so that is it for today. Let me know if you have any questions. If you have any like general questions about churn, how it works, and how to generally reduce it, I'll leave a link on screen that you can watch, which essentially I just break down everything that I know about churn up until this point after running SaaS companies for a while now. All right, I appreciate you for watching, and we'll speak soon. Peace.